09. Eccoci qua. Da 508 non ci sarà lo spoiler finale, eh? No? C'era il mega spoiler, probabilmente.
Out of the depths emerges our second OP, and a new Jojo, Joseph Joestar.
Joseph
The title
Joestar.
appears encased in rock, but as soon as Jojo is done gearing up, it breaks free, and the next bizarre adventure begins. The imagery in the OP for battle tendency is a lot more abstract and psychedelic than the first.
Aspetta, è fatto apposta che sia così lento? È fatto apposta? O mi sta laggando la stream?
But it's still full of hidden details. For instance, the speed lines behind
è
Jojo
rallentata,
are
ok,
actually
ok.
threads from his scarf, which he uses to create a web and ensnare
Sì,
enemies
ok,
with a moth.
mi ricordavo la cosa che mi avevate detto della sciarpa che la utilizza per fare le... come si chiama? Diciamo la ragnatela, i fili contro Easy.
Stars and stripes indicate, not so subtly, that this is an American Jojo, and as Joseph throws punches, we see a brief glimpse of his stand from part 3, Hermit.
È vero! Anche questo me l'avevate detto in una live, che si vede un piccolo spoiler di Hermit Purple.
Hermit Purple. One common image we see throughout this OP is the Hamon Ripple. We see its eastern origins in the Taoist symbols on the band across the middle of the screen, which quickly distort into ripples that then even out into the stripes of Joseph's iconic Hamon scarf. Pillarmen spear the frame.
Oddio, non ci avevo mai fatto caso.
Long shadows as they stand
Pillarmen con tutte le cose dietro,
When they
certo.
spin around, that flame moves to the sky like night overtaking day. This shot of the wall
Bella come cosa.
exudes an air of
Che come si muovono è come se l'oscurità prendesse il controllo del cielo. Mi piace.
menace, and this is just the build-up to them breaking free. Next, a super fast montage of Joseph's lineage. Here's Speedwagon, Lady Erina, and Lisa holding a newborn Joseph Joestar. A small spoiler, but it does give away that she's his mother right out of the gate. Her next
alla faccia. Alla faccia dello spoiler, cavolo.
appearance further cements this, showing her with a dramatic mask and a hat reminiscent of Zappelli's, as though she's taking on that role in lieu of showing her true self.
Okay,
a very
bellino.
brief image shows us the 2 poison wedding rings planted in Jojo's body by Wham and ACD.
Scusami, ma questo c'è nella frazione di un secondo. Non si vede questa parte. Quella non è Lisa Estreso, sì, appunto. È Estreso che tiene Lisa, ha sbagliato a dirlo.
A sight that gives Smokey Brown a scare before
Cioè, ricordo la cosa di Smokey, ma quella della radiografia non me la ricordavo mica.
Lisa drops back into frame. She
Sì,
spins
Lisa
about
che
showing her skill with
ricompare.
the scarf while myriad ripples dance in the background and a plant sprouts and flowers before her, symbolizing her training of Caesar, whose background imagery includes roses and stylized bubbles. There's also a prominent checkerboard pattern, which has always been a symbol of the Zappelli family. Caesar breaks from tradition somewhat, which is why his version of the pattern is printed diagonally in a narrow strip on his headband.
Oh,
Joseph
ok,
narrowly avoids
perché lui
the
rompe la
bubbles bursting
tradizione.
before clashing with
Joseph, giustamente.
Caesar, a clash that creates yet more ripples. The Joestar stars have a similar struggle with the checkerboard pattern, and the
lo
colored
scontro che c'è
silhouettes
tra di
fall
loro
away for a
due.
moment to confirm that this is a friendly bout. And mirroring what happens after their first fight
Sì,
in
che
the
c'è
story,
dopo
Jojo
l'ultimo
tries
continente
out
della
his
storia.
clackers,
Jojo
the
prova i suoi
iconic weapon
clackers.
he thought up on the spot in response to
Sì,
Caesar's
lì
bubbles,
l'arma
and immediately
stupidissima.
trips himself up with them. A final evocative image of Lisa
Non ci avevo fatto caso che effettivamente inciampa.
Lisa spins away as a flower is torn into petals and darkness descends with the Part 2 MacGuffin, the Red Stone of Asia. The stone dangles hypnotically like a pendulum, drawing a crowd of grasping hands towards it. A
Perché
montage
tutti la
of supporting
cercavano,
characters,
certo.
including one making a gesture that was super duper censored in the original
Super
broadcast, brings us
censurato.
back to the Pillarmen, who finally break free of the rock to show off their might. The sketchy, rough way in which they're drawn reflects their primal nature and raw
I
power,
poteri dei
which
vari.
is too wild and immense to be
Ma si vede
contained
anche
within
Cars.
clean outlines.
Si vedeva anche
They
Cars,
do
non me lo
find their
ricordavo
composure
mica.
as they stand before Joseph and Caesar, however, and they're
In
framed
Jojo
at a
pose,
distance from a low
naturalmente.
angle to give us a sense of how fearsome and menacing they really are. These back-to-back shots of Caesar's po-faced seriousness and Joseph's lighthearted taunting convey the differences between the two characters very
Certo,
effectively.
perché uno è
At
molto
last,
serio e
the
l'altro
Red
invece è
Stone
molto
and the
più
mask come together, and out of their
cazzeri.
union emerges
Qui c'è
perfect
lo
Cars,
spoiler
silhouetted against the
gigantesco
rising
del
sun, which ought
finale.
to be killing him, and now so full of power that it can't be contained even when he stands still. Joseph and Caesar have each other's backs as they spin around fighting, at least
Sì,
until
qui
Caesar is
combattono
killed.
con
He
le
lets out a
loro varie
final cry as he
mosse.
goes and leaves behind a single
Finché
bubble
non
of
viene
blood.
ucciso,
A stylish
c'è la bolla
recreation of
rossa.
one of the story's
Gesù
most
santo, anche questo me
powerful
l'avevate
scenes.
detto
To
alla
honor
faccia
his
dello
memory, Jojo
spoiler.
puts
E
on
poi c'è lui con
Caesar's
la
headband and
bandana.
lets out his own cry to the heavens, vowing to avenge his friend. A single shooting star
Cioè,
streaks
boh.
across the sky, showing that Caesar has passed on. Finally, we see that sky
Oh,
reflected in
quello
the
era...
red stone.
Ah, la cosa è il... La cosa è Caesar. Ah, io ho pensato che fosse invece uno spoiler di... Cioè uno spoiler, una anticipazione, chiamiamola così, di Stardust Crusaders. Perché in Stardust Crusaders c'è la parte in cui ci sono le 5 comete, che sono appunto i Crusaders che vanno.
Fitting since all this sprung from it in the first place, and we fade out over the title.
Bello come video, molto bello. Un sacco di roba c'è effettivamente. Un sacco di roba. Quando l'abbiamo finito, le analizziamo tutte queste cose, davvero. Assolutamente. Non vedo l'ora. Non vedo l'ora.